Good morning. It's Megan at Most People. How you doing today? Today's Friday, July 4th, 2025. And what I want to say for a statement today is that most people have a story. I'm going to tell you my story, my 4th of July story. 29 years ago today, my grandma passed away on my mom's side, my mom's mom. Brian and I were up in Alexandria Bay. It was our very first trip away together as a couple. We had only started seeing each other on June 8th, and here it was, July 4th. He had just got this new 4Runner. It was dark blue, and we were just so happy with it, riding up there to the lakes. And we were staying in this bed and breakfast, so we had made our plans really late, obviously, right? We only met the week before, really started seeing each other. So um, we didn't have a lot of time and we wanted to do something. And so we found this bed and breakfast, okay? And it literally was a upstairs bedroom of an old woman's home, just a bedroom. And so Brian, of course, who was Mr. Like, what is this? Are you kidding me? This is what you signed us up for? We're sleeping in a woman's home who we don't know? And I'm like, yeah, let's have some fun. So we went out that day, and we had only come in on the 3rd. So here it was, the 4th. And we went first and signed up for one of those boat cruises around Alex Bay, and spent the day, at that castle. What is it? Some castle. think I know Bonnie Castle is a restaurant place, but whatever. There's a big castle on an island that you stop at and you go check out. So here we are. Oh, but first, before even that, oh my gosh, we wake up and it's time for breakfast. And we go down to this woman's dining room, and there's 2 plates set for us. And she comes out and she says, "Good morning. What would you like for breakfast?" And like literally, I think we had available to us English muffins and something else. So Brian was just blown away. It was just like, we're having English muffins for breakfast in this woman's house. And it was just hysterical. Brian, Brian. If you know Brian, he's very, very funny. What attracted me to him in the first place, he's just says whatever he's going to say, and half the time it's something to crack up at. So anyway, we get out past that. It was just funny. Breakfast was very funny. I remember being funny. He'll probably remember the details because I'm not good at that. So what I do remember about this day is that we went out on the cruise. We came back and we walked into the home of this woman, and she's standing there, and she has her telephone in her hand. It was one of those ivory colored, you know, uh, it was one of the first. This is back in 1986 or 96. So, we didn't have all cool stuff then. There wasn't cell phones. So she hands us her little, cordless phone, and she says, "I'm so sorry. You need to call your home. Your family called, and something's happened, and they need you to call them." Whoa, right? What the fuck? So I call my parents' house, and my sister Danielle answers, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, no one calls anyone on vacation unless it's bad, right? And she says, Grandma died. I go, well, which one? We have two. She says, Grandma Shaw. Grandma Shaw died. Wow. Big blow. Big, 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 big blow. Graham helped raise us, for crying out loud. She was there for everything. So we rushed home, packed our stuff. Brian was kind of glad about that, to be honest. Oh, he couldn't take another breakfast. And we drove home, talked to Brian a lot about my grandma, because he hadn't even met her. He hadn't even met her, which was so devastating, because she would have adored him, she would have loved him, she would have been happy I met him, and just happy. But she never did. And Brian just came outside. I'm on my podcast, babe.
Are you?
Yeah.
I talked to your dad. I'm probably going to go out in a little while and start washing, and then you can come out later with stuff.
Okay.
I'll let you continue.
Thank you. Gonna go out and see my folks today. My mom could probably use a hug. So all the way home, I'm talking to Bri about Graham and all she was to us, to me, to my sisters. This is a woman who would do anything you wanted her to do for you, any time of the day. I remember I was homesick one day, and she came to stay with me for the day when Mom and Dad were at work, and I wasn't even that young, for crying out loud. I was probably like 13, 14. Just for company. She used to come up during the week. She would come up and do our laundry, all our laundry, while my parents worked and we were at school. She'd clean our house. She'd clean our bathrooms. She'd make our beds. She'd do our linens. She'd fold our towels. She took care of us. Always. So, we went home, got to my parents' house, and go inside, of course, hug my mom, all that. And then Brian just held my mom in his arms. For the longest time. That's when she fell in love with him. She knew he would take care of me. At that moment, so did I. So, they told me the story. Grandma had passed away in the night, probably early morning. Uncle Lou, who she lived with in the second half of the house, second part of the house, Uncle Lou's part, he found her in the bathroom, and she was hunched over on the toilet and had presumably just had a heart attack. So he called my mom. They went down. Cunningham's funeral home came. All that stuff. And then we had to plan her funeral. And it was a lovely funeral. It was lovely. But what was really not surprising, in her fridge, when on the 4th of July, in her fridge, she had all her salads made, her macaroni salad, her coleslaw, her desserts, because she was going to have a 4th of July picnic celebration. We did a lot of picnics at Grandma's over the years with Uncle Bob and Aunt Marie and Alan, Uncle Lou. Across the street, Uncle Joe and Aunt Beth. We'd all get together and celebrate the holidays like that. And so what's really cool is that even if she didn't feel good physically going to bed that night, or felt a little off, she went to bed hopeful for the next day. She's going to have family over. She loved it. So that's the nice thing about how she was able to lay her head down at night with good feelings for tomorrow. And that's also what makes this days so sad, is because I don't have a lot of good feelings for tomorrow. I don't today. I see a lot of hurt coming down the road for this country and for so many people, undeserved. And most people are really going to have story. But it's not going to be like, a woman living to her early 80s and going to bed with hope for the next day. Like, people are going to be living nightmares. Most people are going to be living nightmares. And I feel bad for them. I do. And Grandma wouldn't hurt a fly. She wouldn't hurt anybody. She was unselfish, giving. She even let my boyfriend from Mexico come to her house for lunch. My dad couldn't get through a dinner with him, but she invited us for lunch. And even though he hurt me, in the end, I get that lesson from her. She didn't judge me or she didn't judge him. I'm trying to model that. I'm trying to be that person. I am that person. I'm that person. And I wish most people have a story of unselfishness and welcoming of someone not like yourself. This past week, my sister was in town from California with her daughter, 10-year-old, oh, 9, she'll be 10 in August 21st. Just like our anniversary, same day, and she'll be 10, but there was a celebration here before she left because she won't be here for it, but my sister, whose husband is from India, wanted to go visit relatives, a cousin of her husband's, who she had spent some time with on the West Coast. And now she's like 87 years old. And, she looks like she's holding up okay, but her health is failing in some ways. And she wanted to meet Maya. She hadn't met Maya yet. And that was really important to her. And it was really important for my sister to see her as well, because the last time they had, spent time or seen them, was on the West Coast, which was the time when her daughter Brenda passed away. So it was a very hard time that they all went through together out there. So they have that bond, and I understand that. I understand that she wanted to go see her again, and I understand why she would want Maya to meet her. It meant something to all of us, And so we stayed with his cousin's son and wife, Shri and Priya, and Shardat is the cousin. I know. How does my sister's husband have an 87-year-old cousin? Because in India, in those generations, there were dozens of children, and they spanned generations. So while he is, you know, my age, she's born in 68, she's 87 years old, so it's just crazy. Anyway, they were gracious, lovely, lovely Indian family. Wanted us to be comfortable from the moment we walked in the door. We're so happy that we made the trip. The whole time told us stories about the family and the history, and Sharda's so proud of her heritage and her love of jewelry and her love of saris. She has, and so many women, she was saying, have Indian women have saris that they don't wear anymore, and they're all just like, folded in a drawer, packed away in a box, and these fabrics. I mean, it's like yards. I think like almost like 6 yards, Priya said, of fabric, and the fabrics are just like, they're not, cotton polyester. Gorgeous silk patterns, and these things over time just disintegrate if they're not used. So Charlotte wanted me to spread the message that most people should repurpose their saris. So I'm saying it. She actually gave me 3 blouses that she had made out of saris that she could no longer wear. And I cherish that. Of course, she gave me earrings to match. I'm not wearing them now because Brian will tell you I lose them in the couch every night. This morning I said, I'm looking for my crossword puzzle book. He goes, did you find your earring? Did you lose an earring today? He just likes to tease me. But anyway, we had fun, wonderful trip. We spent the night in their amazingly large home, which had like hallways that were like 5 or 6 feet wide. It felt like a hotel. Every bedroom had its own bathroom, and everything we could have needed was laid at our feet and at our disposal, and um, it was wonderful. They were great. I loved experiencing it, experiencing their culture and their thoughts and what they think of things going on in life, right? So, so our drive back from Jersey was horrific. I haven't even told Brian because he'd be like, "You got lost? What do you mean you got lost?" And yeah, for 2 hours, we were still 3 hours from home. Um, I think that maybe what the problem was is that we took one bad turn, and Maya will tell you it was when we should have gone to New York instead of Delaware, and that literally took us 8 miles in the wrong direction. And it wasn't just a matter of like turning around and going that 8 miles back and getting back on track. Like our GPSs were, I don't know if they were trying to get us home from where we got lost or if they were trying to get us back, but nothing was making sense. Our GPSs would have a road like 202, and the road in front of us says 206. So it's actually 202 and 206, but they don't have the 202 sign on the road. So we kept on getting confused. We kept taking wrong turns, and it was a 5 hour ride home. 5, 10 to 4, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. Oh, 6 hours it took us till I got home. So, but you know what? After we got on track, after those first 2 hours of absolute stress, anxiety, and screaming, pulling over, breathing exercises, all that stuff, um, we got on track and we had a fine ride home. We stopped at this pizza place, got a really decent slice, square pizza, just, which with tomato sauce and some mozzarella, or, fresh mozz and basil. And we had that and we drove home, and I'm glad we went. And Mish was thankful. Karthik was thankful. He sent me a lovely message. And so we actually make a pretty good traveling trio, the three of us, Mish, Maya, and Meg. And not our first trip. We've been to Boston together, so a couple times actually. So it's been fun when she's come home and visit. Now she's 10. She's a lot of fun to hang out with. She's hysterical, and she gets a lot of things, and she says a lot of things that just she loves to laugh, and I love to laugh with her. So today, the 4th of July, I'm going to try and do some laughing, and I'm going to try and make this a celebration day, and put the big stuff out of my head. Remember Graham, and spend some time outside in this beautiful country of ours. Get out there and do the same. Most people have a story. What's yours?